Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday evening, November 9th. And this is your girl Mercedes coming on, bringing you the latest news, coming to you live. Okay, your girl Mercedes is bringing you the news and the latest that we're going to do for today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, we looking into possibilities of the election, possibilities of the 2020-28 election. Now, I know it's really soon. I know it's very soon to look at that at this point because a lot of people are saying, well, I don't think you guys ought to be looking into this type of stuff right now because you have a lot going on right now. 2026, you have the midterm elections. So we have to deal with that first before we could look into something else, or we could look into the 2020 and 28 action. But on this channel, we're making you see things from another perspective. We're letting people have secret insights into things that we see happening around us, but a lot of people do not really want to notice. A lot of people may not really notice things that's going on. But we're trying to shed a little light and draw some attention to some things that you all may not be aware of, but we're looking into some certain things. So now lately, I don't know if you've noticed lately in the news, but a lot of times you certain people that you're seeing a lot. You're seeing, you're seeing Hakeem Jeffries a lot. You're seeing Jasmine Crockett a lot. You're seeing Bernie Sanders. Elizabeth Warren. These are some people that you are seeing in the public. If you notice, you are seeing a lot of them lately. So I think there might be an underlying issue. I just think there might be an underlying issue to why they're having more of these people being seen in the public lately. This is a picture of me. This is your girl Mercedes. So I'm thinking that lately we're seeing a lot in the public eye of certain characters and key players like Gavin Newsome, Jasmine Crockett. I just, lately I've just noticed that you're seeing a lot more of these key players lately. I'm just noticing that. Okay. Now, I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but I'm just noticing a lot more lately that you're seeing them showing more of these key players, lately. So we are deciding, or we think that there is definitely a possibility of Gavin Newsome and Jasmine Crockett possibly being on the presidential ticket together. Um, I feel like when they had the last rally in California, like about a week or two ago, Jasmine Crockett was there, and she's been very much vocal lately. She's been very much, in the eye lately in politics. She's really out there. She's really outspoken. Just a picture of her and Gavin Newsom together. So I really think that they might be forming a bond that we're not really aware of. And then Hakeem Jeffries. The reason why you're seeing him a lot lately is because I believe the Democrats are going to take over the Congress, through the midterms. I believe that the Democrats are going to take over the Congress. I believe the Democrats are going to take over the Congress. So these are just things that I just looking at. Just pay attention. We just really want people to pay attention to the public, Pay attention to what's going on because it's a lot of things that you might not be aware of. And when you really start to think about it, then you're going to see it. So you're seeing more of Hakeem Jeffries lately. You're seeing a lot about him lately. He's talking a lot. You're seeing them talk about him a lot. He's out there really talking about the Republicans, and he's really out there. He's the Democratic uh, minority leader in the House. Okay, this is Hakeem Jeffries. He's the minority leader of the Democrats in the House. So he's been very, very vocal lately. He's been very, very vocal lately. Hakeem Jeffries, he's been very, very outspoken. He took over the Republican leadership, spot from Nancy Pelosi. Now Nancy Pelosi is getting ready to retire, possibly. Well, definitely she's saying she's going to retire. So you've been seeing a lot more of Jeffries, Hakeem Jeffries in the public lately. But also I feel like you've been seeing a lot about Gavin Newsome. Like he's really been out there lately talking about things that have been going on in California. He's the governor of California. So I'm just trying to make people aware of things that you might not know or you might not be aware of. You know what I'm saying? But you really got to try to think about it because it's definitely that possibility. You know what I'm saying? This is Gavin Newsome. So there's definitely the possibility that he could be running for president, or he might be really considering running for president. That's what a lot of people are saying. It's possibly a consideration. Now, Gavin Newsome is the current governor of California. He's a very nice guy. I mean, he's very smart. He's very intelligent. He's very outspoken against what's going on in the Trump administration, all the mess that's going on in California. He's really fighting back against the current administration. He's definitely fighting back. So, we definitely think that it's a possibility that they're seriously talking about him running for president in 2028. But I just want people to really just keep their eyes out. This particular video is just letting people know what's going on and just keep your eyes out for what's going on. You're seeing a lot of Jasmine Crockett. You're seeing she's out there. She's always out there. She's always outspoken. You're seeing a lot about Gavin Newsome. They were together, at the last rally they had for Prop 50 in California. So it's just definitely a possibility. And there's even a little buzz about it. Like there's even people like really been talking about it. It's coming to my understanding. It's coming to my understanding that people are talking about it. That possibly it could happen. This is Jasmine Crockett. She is a representative and she's a Democratic representative in the House of Representatives. She's very popular. She's a very smart young lady. And she's definitely, out there. You're seeing her out there in different areas and different places. So it's definitely a possibility that, she could possibly be a potential running mate for Gavin Newsom. But the reason why I am saying this now is because you're seeing a lot more of them lately, of her, of him, of Hakeem Jeffries. You've seen a lot about Bernie Sanders too. Okay? You've seen a lot about Bernie Sanders. He's definitely being out there very spoken. So I'm just trying to make people aware of what's going on. If you're not really that aware of what's going on, just trying to make people aware of what's going on. So it's definitely very early to tell. It's definitely very early to tell, but I'm saying it's definitely a possibility that, they could be possibly running together or they could possibly be, on a ticket together. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, it's definitely a possibility that, they could be. It's definitely a possibility. So this is the newsroom here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're just bringing and shedding some light on certain things that's going on in the world today that we definitely want you people to be aware of. That is definitely a possibility of Gavin Newsome running for president in 2028. This is the latest news that we want people to really listen to and really hear. And it's always definitely that possibility. Just watch and keep your eyes out for what you're seeing because it's happening. It's happening. And you might not necessarily be seeing it, but we just want to bring people's attention to it and make people like kind of aware of what's going on because it's definitely that possibility to just really keep your eyes and your ears open on what you're seeing out here because you just never know. Now, I definitely think that Hakeem Jeffries it definitely is going to be the Speaker of the House because he is the minority leader in the House of Representatives. So I definitely think that it's a possibility for him. Well, when the Democrats take over in the midterms, and I know that they're going to take over in the midterms, I already know this is going to happen. I already know that the Democrats is going to take over in the midterms. I already know that because the Republicans are making a mess of things right now. And I know a lot of people are feeling kind of funny, feeling kind of upset, not really happy about what's going on. And I think that's why a lot of Democrats won in this last election that they just had different governors of different states like New Jersey, Virginia, you know what I'm saying? You know, we already talked about Mr. Zoran Mamdani in New York, how he took over as mayor in New York. So a lot of Democrats cleaned house. They cleaned house in this last election. This is saying Gavin Newsom and Jasmine Crockett, president, vice president. So you already see that it's definitely a possibility right now. It's definitely a possibility. It's a little bit of buzz. It's not really much lately, but there are some current rumors that Gavin Newsom, okay, he's seriously considering a presidential run, and it's a consideration of Miss Jasmine Crockett being his vice president. Now, this is definitely a possibility, people. You're already seeing the sign here. And I just came across this myself and I'm like, wow, this is really amazing. That really would be a good thing because we need some different people. I love Gavin Newsom. I love Jasmine Crockett. Like, I really feel like they would be a good team. They definitely would be my pick if I was to pick a potential president right now, 2028, possibly potential presidential run. I mean, there's a few other good people that probably could possibly, but Gavin Newsom, he's very out there now. He's very outspoken, very popular. He's definitely taken on Donald Trump. And, he's definitely a person of interest that we definitely can look at, okay, as a possibility. But I'm just making people aware, making people alert. I'm alerting to people now that, this is going to happen or it could happen. This is definitely a possibility. You know what I'm saying? This is the breaking news. So we're just letting everybody know this is the breaking news. And it's definitely a possibility that Gavin Newsom and Jasmine Crockett could be making a presidential run. So I'm just letting people know, making people be aware of what is going on, you know, in the scenes or politically. Okay, so I just want everybody to just stay awake, stay alert, just be aware of what's going on because there's a lot of things that is in plain sight. There's a lot of things that is in open sight. If you just be currently aware, there is a lot of things that is in open sight. And guys, I want y'all to like, share, subscribe, spread the word, tell everybody you know about this channel. We know we're going to have it professionally produced. We know that we're making some serious changes and it's going to be up there very soon where we want it to be. But it's going to take us some time to work on it. No, it's just having problems. You're having technical difficulties because, it's just a pain in the butt when you're trying to bring up certain things and then it doesn't want to come up there. Because I don't want to really have a blank screen. I always want to have something, aware that you guys can see because I want to have the visual so you all can see what's going on. This is a great, wonderful team here. This is Gavin Newsome. This is Jasmine Crockett. They're in a wonderful picture together, and I think that they would make a very good team. And it's definitely a lot of buzz around it. So I was just really, making people aware of it and letting people know. We're having a little technical difficulties, but we're still, just really trying to get the word out so people will just really know. So people will really be aware and will know what is going on out here. So we just want y'all to keep your eyes and your ears open as to what's going on. You know, it's very interesting. This is very interesting stuff because you never know what could happen. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, this was just a little quick view or a little quick insight into some things that's going on and to some things that could possibly potentially be happening in the near future. Okay? So we just want to make you guys aware of what could potentially be happening in the near future. This is me. This is your girl Mercedes coming to you. This is another perspective. And we're giving you guys the live, you know, insight that's hidden. Okay? We call the information that we're putting out here, we call it what's being hidden in plain sight. We think all the information is being hidden in plain sight. This is me, your girl Mercedes, and this is stuff that we just really feel like is being hidden in plain sight. Okay, and we want you guys to be aware of what's going on. Okay, guys. So it's a pain in the butt. It's really a pain in the butt because you're trying to pull stuff up and it just doesn't want to act right. It's like the technicalities of this stuff. I mean, it's a pain in the neck. I really need a professional producer, really, definitely to produce these. And we're gonna have more professional videos because we're bringing you guys very, very, very vital information and important information that I think people need to know and people need to hear. So I think it's very critical and crucial that we do this right. But I mean, it is a pain in the butt. Stuff is slow; it doesn't want to come up. Technical difficulties. Okay, guys, that is us signing off. That's us signing off. Good night.